الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. وعن ابن عباس رضي الله تعالى عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: أمرت أن أسجد على 7 أعظم على الجبهة، وأشار بيده إلى أنفه واليدين والركبتين وأطراف القدمين. متفق عليه. Ibn Abbas reports that the Prophet ﷺ said, I was ordered and commanded, by meaning by Allah, that when I make sujood, I make sujood on seven pieces of bone. 7 أعظم. He said al-jabha, meaning the forehead, but he also included his nose. So this is what he pointed to. Al-jabha, but then he pointed to his nose as well. This is all one piece of bone. Jabha and al-anf. The forehead and the nose is one. And then wal-yadayn, the 2 hands, wal-rukbatayn, the 2 knees, wa-atraf al-qadamayn, and the edge of your foot, the distal part of your foot, your toes. wa-atraf al-qadamayn, your toes. So this hadith indicates that when you make sujood, you have to include the nose with the forehead. Some people make sujood and they just have the forehead and the nose is off, or the opposite. And another thing is that the sunnah is to have your toes facing the qibla. Some people, they make sujood and their toes are backwards. The sujood is still sahih, it is not cancelled, but it is not according to the sunnah. The toes should be facing the qibla. And another thing is, some people, you find them making sujood, and for some reason, you don't know why, but they go like this. They cross their legs behind them. Have you seen that happen?
Yeah, sometimes.
They cross their legs behind them. Yes, when they make a sujood. I think what he's doing is that he knows when he sits back, he's going to sit on his legs crossed, so he's doing it too early.
Maybe it has it.
So that if he does that, then he's lifted 1 foot off the floor or off the ground. His sujood is not sahih. If someone lifts an organ of these 7 organs without a reason for a prolonged period of time, his sujood is not correct, and his sujood is gone. And if he does not correct himself, his whole salah is gone. So, but if he lifts an organ quickly, briefly, for instance, you're on sujood like this, and suddenly you really have to do something. You have to maybe scratch your head, otherwise you can't focus. And you did this quickly, that's okay. But you don't go like this and then you wait like this for a long time. Your sujood is gone. So you cannot lift any of the 7 pieces of bone, these 7 pillars that you make sujood on. You cannot lift them for a prolonged period of time. They say also...
Some of the people, they don't allow even to do it like that.
During sujood or during any part?
During the salah.
During the salah. We talked about this before. This is a movement in salah. This movement in salah, what is the hukum? What is it allowed or not allowed? If you want to scratch in the salah.
Scratch allowed.
If it is necessary.
Necessary? How do you determine if it's necessary or not necessary?
You have to do it.
What do you mean by what you have to do it? Because you want to do it?
To disturb your focus.
Exactly. If it disturbs your focus, هل أثر خشوعك؟ أفضل إنك تحك. لو if it's going to affect your khushu' and your focus in the salah, get it over with. Scratch and finish your salah. But if you're going to say, okay, I'm not going to scratch in this salah, and you keep on going like this, for the rest of the salah, I'm not focusing in the salah, then you've done wrong.
Is that wrong?
Yes. If you have very deep khushu', you won't feel that you need to scratch. That is true.
Yeah,
if you have the real strong khushu', deep khushu', you will not feel that. But you have not reached that level. Now let's talk about ourselves. Exactly. We'll talk about ourselves now. We're not talking about somebody who has such deep khushu' that he's not even feeling. Some of the Sahaba, as you know, the Sahabi, they cut his leg during the salah. And he requested that. They said to him, well, you need to cut your leg. He had gangrene. He said, we need to cut your leg. You have to drink alcohol until you're knocked out so that we cut your leg. He says, I would never do something like this. Even for medication, I will not do this. There used to be the anesthesia. When they wanted to anesthetize someone for surgery, drink until you're out, and then they cut. Yeah, هذا يسموه في التخدير. But he said no. They used to do that in the past. نعم.
Drink a lot and
لغاية ما يتخدر تماما. Because you can be in coma. لو شربت كثير you can go into a coma ما تحس بشيء. ما تحس بشيء. فاهمني؟
عشان يعني
تخدير. فهو he said to them, no, wait until I'm in the salah, and when I'm in the salah, cut my leg. So because he has such deep khushu'. But we'll talk about us now. We'll talk about when you have the urge to scratch and you don't scratch, you'll lose your focus. A Sahabi one time was praying at night. What's his name? Abed ibn Bishr. I think so. Abed ibn Bishr. He was praying at night and he was gardening. He was reciting Surah Al-Kahf, and one of the kuffar sent an arrow. An arrow went into him. So in the middle of the salah, he goes and takes the arrow out, and his fellow guard is sleeping because they were taking turns, and he did not wish to wake him and did not wish to cut his salah. He said, oh, that arrow didn't really kill me, so I can continue now. So continue the salah, and then a second arrow came in.
Yeah, but
I know, but he did not fear. He felt that they were just trying to kill him, not they won't invade right now. So he takes the second arrow off and he continues his salah. And then when the third arrow came, he was afraid that he may die or something, and then they would come and kill the Sahaba. So he then woke the man up, and the other partner said to him, why didn't you wake me from the first arrow? He says, I was in a surah I did not wish to interrupt. Subhanallah. He said, I did not wish to interrupt my surah, Surah Al-Kahf. Subhanallah. So, of course, that's a deep kind of khushu'. They say, when you are making sujood, what? Do you have to touch the ground? Let's say you are wearing a hat. This qulunsuwa. This is the hat that they wear for salah sometimes, or wearing a turban, or wearing a glove. Is this allowed, or do you have to take this off to touch the ground? That's a very important question.
allowed?
Huh?
Your forehead has to touch the ground.
You have to go open.
They say that you should touch the ground unless there is a necessity where you have to put a barrier between you and the ground. Like what? When do you have to put something between you and the ground?
Stone, when you are going to...
Not stone, no. If it's too hot. They used to sometimes pray and it's too hot to put your forehead. Sahara, it's desert. And if you put your forehead, you would burn and you can't even focus. Or even your hands. So sometimes they would use their sleeves for sujood, and they would use their amama, their turban, to protect their forehead. That is allowed if there is a reason. But if there's no reason, you just don't want to put, that is makruh.
What about the cold?
Anything that will hurt you. So there's a hadith, كان أصحاب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يسجدون وأيديهم في ثيابهم. They used to make sujood and they put their hands in their sleeves to protect from the heat. Okay? And also ورد في الحديث قال الحسن كان القوم يسجدون على العمامة والقلنسوة ويداه في فمه. They used to make sujood on their turban, and qulunsuwa is this hat that they wear. تقية السودانيين بيلبسوها برضه.
Even in my country, I did that one day.
Yeah, you have to. It's too hot. ما تقدر.
Very full of people, you have to
pray outside. والله يعني sometimes one time I was in a neighbor's house. At that time I lived in Sudan. I was in a neighbor's house, and our house was just around the corner. It's like 100 meters. And I went to the neighbor's house in the morning without my shoes. I wanted to go home at noon time. It was so hot. I tried more than once to go
and back.
It's so hot that I couldn't. I had to go back to enter the house of the neighbors again. And I tried to run. I said maybe when I run I do it quickly. Even running I couldn't. Because just touching the ground with your feet even was burning. Yes, it must be same in Nigeria, right?
Yeah. It's not that fast. In the north, very fast.
No. So no, it can't be that hot. So السجود على حائل لحاجة جائز. You can make a sujood على حائل. هذا حائل متصل. حائل متصل, something that is part of you, like your amama, some part of your clothing. You're only allowed to do it if there's a necessity. حائل منفصل, like this, منفصل, a barrier between you and the ground that is separate from you, meaning not part of your clothing, like the rug. That is allowed. Let's say you wanted to pray outside, it's not too hot, but you want to put the rug. You're allowed to do that. هذا منفصل يجوز من غير حاجة. Can you, for instance, say, oh, this hand hurts me more, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make sujood like this. One hand on top of each other. Exactly. You're not allowed to, or you say, okay, I don't want to put my forehead. I'll go like this. Put my hand under my forehead. This is not allowed. You cannot put one of the organs of sujood as a barrier between you and another organ. Okay? We'll stop here with the 10 minutes today. We still have some more hadith to talk about the way of doing it. Now, as you see, this is Sifat al-Salah. All these hadith are describing the way of Salah, right? We talked about Azkar al-Iftitah. We talked about what you say when you start recitation, what you say, what you recite, Fatiha and Surah, when you make takbir, all these things, how you put your hand, now how you make sujood. So it's really important to know these hadith. Any question about this? Okay.